All right, everybody. Just want to remind you all that I'll be writing the new issue of MMT Trader this weekend. I'll have a lot to say, obviously, on this Brexit development. And of course, we'll go through the numbers as I do every week, all the fiscal numbers, all the spending flows, etc. By the way, just leading up to this Brexit, the numbers have been very, very strong. Okay, very strong. And Brexit does not erase that, right? Right? I mean, most of this spending, like I've been saying, is automatic. It's non-discretionary, and so the numbers have been very, very strong. Okay, just wanted to mention that. Now, some of you may have heard of Pete Peterson. Pete Peterson is a billionaire, Wall Street billionaire. He has worked in several administrations. He's an old guy. He's in his 80s. But Pete Peterson, for probably 30 years, if not longer, has been on a mission to end Social Security. And he has funded many institutions and think tanks whose job it is to spew this false and deceitful propaganda about Social Security. Now, you know, all the crap like it's broke and it's going to bankrupt the nation and all this stuff. And over the course of these many years, he's had a bunch of flunkies working for him who were basically high paid propaganda, human propaganda machines that go around spewing out this bullshit. One of whom was David+Walker. I don't know if any of you heard. I'm the only guy in the whole entire world, the only guy. I had a radio show, and maybe I mentioned this on a prior video, but I had a radio show from 2004 to 2009, and I had David+Walker. David+Walker was the former Controller General of the United States. And, you know, he's been going around all over for years and years and years saying Social Security is broke, it's bankrupt, we got to fix it. And fix it is a euphemism for getting rid of it, okay? So I'm the only person ever to get this guy to admit that the checks are never going to bounce and there's no solvency issue. And as a matter of fact, if you Google, you know, Mike Norman, David+Walker interview, or if you just go to my blog, MikeNormanEconomics.org, and you search David+Walker, you'll be able to listen to that interview. It's even on my website, pitbulleconomics.com. Okay. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. David+Walker has, Pete Peterson, and David+Walker is an outright deceitful liar. Okay, and there's stories of my encounters with him when I was working at Fox. Anyway, Peterson has this think tank called the Peterson+Institute in Washington, of course, and the job of that is to, again, to put out this propaganda about Social Security being broke. But he has this guy named Adam+Posen, who is the head of the Peterson+Institute, and Adam+Posen is a former, get this, the guy is a former Monetary Policy Committee member of the Bank of England. He worked at the Bank of England, the central bank of England. And he was interviewed back in February as to what he thought would happen if there was going to be a Brexit. And he said, well, leading up to Brexit, there would be a lot of volatility. But then if it actually happened, he says, there's going to be very high interest rates. Now, here's a guy who was on the Monetary Policy Committee of the Bank of England, the very institution that sets interest rates in England. And he did not understand that it's not the market, it's not the bond market vigilantes, it's the central bank itself that sets the rate in its own currency, just like the Fed sets the rate. And that's not just short-term rates. If the Fed, if it wanted to, could set any rate along the term structure, just like the Bank of England, if it wanted to, could set any. But here's a guy, and you know, I know many of you, you know, you're as frustrated as I am because you say, Mike, how can this happen? These people are in high policy positions and they don't have a clue. That's right, they don't have a clue. So anyway, if you go to my blog, MikeNormanEconomics.org, I just put up a post, and on that post there's a quote. There was that interview with Adam+Posen from February 25th where he says there's going to be very high interest rates. It's really, really... So you see, the whole entire global economy, maybe with the exception of China, and they're starting to get infiltrated, but the whole entire global economy is in the grips of these people who are, into their own belief system. And everything is completely wrong, okay? But they're the ones, they have their hands on the buttons and the levers and the controls of the global economy. And it's their doctrine, it's their dogma that drives everything. And of course, it benefits them, but it is destructive as hell to everybody else. Anyway, on that note, have a great weekend. And if you don't have your 30-day free trial to MMT Trader, what are you waiting for? There's so much going on here. Come on. www.pitbulleconomics.com. Click on the tab that says products. And while you're there, get my Forex course just for the mental game alone. Click on the tab that says courses and also get Understanding the Daily Treasury Statement. It's only $99. See you guys. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.